Hi, I'm Tracy from Cheese Needs, and today I'm going to be unboxing my new milking machine. Just for transparency, this is a paid promotion. All right. Excited. Okay, firstly, everything is numbered. Super helpful. Holy! If you live in Canada like I do, the only way you can get hold of raw milk is if you milk it yourself. Otherwise, it's illegal. So I'm still hoping I can talk my husband into a cow, but for now, it's just the goats. Okay, we've got a user manual and quick start guide. Frequently asked questions. I will read this. Even though I already have a milking machine, I already know how they work. It's always a good idea. Ooh, that's handy. Never had one of these before. This is a check valve. This will actually stop it when it's full. It will rise up and block the hole so that it doesn't then go back up the tubes and end up in the pump. We don't want that. So this is super handy. So this looks a lot more sturdy, a lot more user-friendly. That will be the pump. So it comes with two different brushes, a wide fat brush for the teacups and a long snaky brush so that you can clean all the way down these tubes. So first things first, this is not a welded bucket. This is important. If you have welding around the bottom, that is somewhere that bacteria can gather. In my previous machine, it had a welded bottom in it, and getting any kind of a brush in there, really tough. So this is perfect. Nice big bucket. Nice sturdy lid. Let's get this pump out. It's not too heavy either. Part of the main reason that I needed to search for a new milking machine is because I have tendonitis in this arm, running all the way down here. They call it golfer's elbow, but it's this tendon here, and I'm currently in physio for it because it comes back every now and then, and it's killing me. The most painful thing I can do right now would be to milk. So this is a need, this isn't a want. I really need a milking machine. Okay, so we've got the power supply in. I like that there is a cover for this. This model actually has a battery, so you can run this without direct power being attached at the time, which is new for me because at the moment my milking machine, you have to have it plugged in at all times or it doesn't suck, which does suck, if you know what I mean. So we've got an on-off here. Pretty clicky. Oh, the light comes on. See, it's already charged. Oh, I love this. You've got 1 and 2, which are your pulsing tube and your other tube. You've got an air exhaust here, just in case anything does get in the machine, it can actually air exhaust there. I love that the power supply is covered so that if you do use it on the battery, I'm already excited about the battery. If you do use it on the battery, you can cover this up and it doesn't get dirty, because if you have farm animals at all, you know that mud is a large component of your daily life. So this is all well sealed. I like this unit. It isn't heavy. I'll get you a weight on this. It isn't heavy. Some of these can be really heavy and this isn't. So that's super handy. The check valve, I love the check valve. This is really awesome. So that goes under here somewhere. I'm just going to read the instructions and I'll be back. Okay, so this is a spares package. I wondered if it was, but then I thought maybe no. But it is. It's a spares package. So that's really cool. Thank you, Hantop, because I have tried to replace these cables before. I've tried to replace, this is the, in here we've got a spare rubber ring. This is the seal that goes around the lid here. And we've got spare tubing. Trying to find this tubing, eventually I found some in a hydroponics store, but trying to find this tubing that's actually flexible, really difficult, especially in this town. So that's super cool. And also in a separate package, I got my goat stuff. So I've got all the tubing that goes with that. And these are your standard goat teat cups. Now, if you're a person that doesn't like to read instructions, and I know that you're out there, these are numbered. These tubes are numbered, and they've taped over those numbers as well so that they're more sturdy, because this is all going to get wet. So you'll see that these cables are numbered. You've got cable 1, cable 2, cable 3. Now that corresponds with the numbers on the machine. Cable 2 and cable 3 go into the bucket. Cable 1 and cable 2 go into the pump. So that gives you a three-way circulation. Air goes in, the liquid only goes into the bucket. The liquid doesn't end up going into the pump because you don't want to blow the pump up. And that gives you the three-way. It's like a triangle of milk. It's fabulous. These things goes like that. It clamps the tube closed. So you can then place this on the udder that you've cleaned and stripped out. When you're ready, you open it up, and that gives you the full tube, and then the milk can flow down the tube. If you've got a goat that is feeding their baby from one side but not feeding from the other, and you only need one of these because you can't use the other one, the goat won't let you, or the goat isn't putting out from that side. I have a goat right now that is only milking from one side. She is feeding her baby from the other, but she's not feeding from this one side. And if I didn't have the opportunity to clamp off one of these tubes, then I wouldn't be able to form a suction between her one teat and the bucket where the milk needs to go. So this pipe here only goes to the pump. This is what gives this sleeve here the pulsing suction. You don't want a continuous suction on your goat's teat because it can cause them to burst blood vessels. You can get blood in your milk. You can introduce mastitis. It's a bad time. So having these gives you a this sleeve here inside this hard cylinder. The sleeve here will actually go in and out. I'll show you that in just a moment. There is a website address at the top, and there is technical support at the bottom. So technically what the instructions are telling you is if you can count to 3, you can set this machine up. I'm guessing if you can keep livestock alive long enough to actually get milk from them, you can probably count to 3. Okay, so tube number 1 goes in hole number 1. And these come off every day for cleaning, by the way. Tube number 3 goes in hole number 3. And then to close the loop, we've got tube number 2 going on tube number 2. And tube number 2. So this is not really all that technically difficult, okay? So this piece here goes to the pump. That provides you with the intermittent suction. This one here goes into your milk bucket, into your nice big pail, because that's where the milk needs to go. The pump causes the vacuum in the machine, which causes the vacuum in here, which causes the milk to flow down. It's all very simple when you look at it. I will show you this on the animal later on. So how would you clean this machine? Well, you've got 2 brushes here. One of them is a very long snaky type brush. One of them is nice and chubby, so it will clean the inside of these. You've got to clean these sleeves. This is how I clean. So at the end of milking, I would pop these off, and then you can flush water straight through here. Using the brush, you can scrub it. You've got to get up. There is a lip here, so you've got to get up and around this lip and then down into the shaft there. You don't actually generally need to take these out every single day from the hard tube. I don't tend to do it every single day because you can see if there's a debris or liquid forming in there. So I would flush these. Don't need to worry about these because they're just for air. None of that touches your milk in any way. I would then have this attached to my lid. I would have pipe 2, I would detach from the pump like this, pops on and off. And then I would rinse this very, very thoroughly all the way through using the brush. The brush will navigate that Y there. It will navigate these clips here as long as you've got them open. The brush will go all the way down, and I will do that every single time I use it. I also run Star San through this just because I have Star San available. This one, you want to try and keep this dry because this goes into the pump. We do have a valve here. I need to install the check valve. Install underneath the lid, sharp side up. On here, there we go then. So you can see here, there's a bucket full of milk here. If the milk comes up here, this will cause the float here to block. So the milk then can't go up this tube and end up in your pump, which will blow it up. So the check valve is really, really important and really useful. And it's easy to clean. You can take it off for cleaning really quite easy. So it's a little stiff because it's brand new. Once I've had this baby for a week or so, those will pop in and out nice and easily. And this whole thing will go with me down to my goats later on today, and we will give it a go. Join me by the barn. So it's not particularly noisy. The animals don't seem to be upset by it. Actually a lot quieter than my previous milking machine, and it does a great job. Pulling the milk out nice and quickly. You can see everything, so you can see when the milk has stopped flowing. And again, I love the fact that this has a battery. This is so exciting. When your power goes out more than you do, it's really handy to have battery available. You know, if you happen to have a cow or whatever, you know, up in a field and you can't get them into the barn for any reason, but you urgently need to get their milk out for their baby, this would be a godsend in an emergency. So this is how I drain my milk. I use a piece of paper towel, I use a small sieve, and I use a canning jar funnel thing. This will pull out any hairs or any debris that may have gotten into the milk. It's very clean because it's a closed system. The one thing I find is that this brush is really, really stiff to get in and out of the teacups. But that brush is just a tiny bit too wide to go in and out of the teacups at the bottom. And those do need cleaning very thoroughly. Now I store these in a zippy bag because I can then take that down to the barn and I know nothing's going to get into the ends there because that would then get sucked in with the milk. So this is your sealing ring. This goes around the top here. You have to pull it out for cleaning every day. There is a spare one of these, as I said, if it does degrade at any point. It looks like silicone, so I'm sure it's going to be fine for a good long time. And then everything just gets a thorough rinse and a scrub through with the big long snaky brush. Remember, you need to clean these tubes every time you use them, and you can get milk build up, which can cause contamination in your future cheeses. So you want to go through there every single day with hot soapy water. And then I flush it through with Star San, which is a food safe cleaning product that is also safe for this type of plastic. Since I'm only milking once a day at the moment, I'm going to just dry everything off for storage until it's time to use it again. Now I've been using this for 3 weeks. I have to say this is a really cool machine. The battery is a really, really important feature for me that I didn't even know I wanted before. The fact that the unit itself isn't crazy heavy, so it doesn't kill me when I have to drag it out to the barn every day and back full with milk. I would highly recommend this product. If you've got any questions about it, let me know and I will try and help you with those. Also, you can find Hantop United Farm on Facebook and Instagram and at hantoptech.com.